Hello, Jack. Welcome to the question and answer session. I'm super thrilled this session. I'm super thrilled right now to be speaking to you. And the session that you delivered has been wonderful. I mean, been through the whole thing. It's really great. And thank you so much for sharing the wisdom. It's been immense. Every single thing that you spoke about has been. I mean, I know it's how important it is, and I've been studying your work since years. So kind of it resonates with my journey as well, and I really vouch with every single principle that you've discussed. First things first, Jack. I This is one question that I get encountered with a lot of times from a lot of people, from my mentees and people whom I coach, is that very often it happens that you get started on the path of success. You get started on, you put your goals in place, and then you get started with a lot of aplomb. Over a period of time, of course, you encounter failures, and sometimes multiple of them. So what advice would you give to someone who's failed, and someone who's not been able to cope with failures in their lives?
Well, failure is natural. And that's how we learn. Nobody comes out and, nobody's born and just starts to walk right away. Everyone falls down. So I love the word fail and fall. If you write the word fail on a chalkboard and you take the I and you just put a little line like that, it spells fall. And so what happens is our children, we never tell our children, you have 2 months to learn to walk. And if you don't learn to walk in 2 months, I'm never going to help you again. We just keep doing it until they walk. And so the same thing is true with failure. Think of failure as a delay in results. It's a learning experience. We learn from our failures. And then, either we're thinking the wrong thoughts, we're not doing the right things, or we're not doing them in the right order, or we have limiting beliefs that are stopping us from doing some of the things we need to do. And basically, you should never give up on your dreams. And so I think people, when they fail, they think it's the end. It means they're not going to achieve it. There's something wrong with them. Life's too hard. They begin to feel like a victim, etc. And the fact is that we all need to take the position that we're all going to do well if we just continue. Perseverance and consistency and persistence is critical. And just to know that everybody fails. It's natural. It's part of the learning process. When you learn to play the piano, you're going to hit wrong notes. When you're learning to sing, you're going to hit wrong notes. You're learning to play the drum, you're going to miss some of the beats until you get it right. And so it's just a matter of persistence and getting feedback from people, and then incorporating the feedback, and then continuing on. Just never give up.
Beautiful, beautiful. Just never give up. Just keep on and on. And I love what you said about taking feedback from people. It's like very similar to making course corrections in your journey as you move forward, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much. And the second one is, we are living in a day and age of massive distractions, especially with too much of social media happening, too much of news and views. So in this day and age of massive distraction, how can one keep himself or herself focused? What's your view on, avoiding distractions and being focused on your mission, your purpose, your goal in life?
Right. Well, you have to put, like a horse has blinders on it, so it doesn't see the distractions off to the side. So one has to control the distractions. For instance, the average American, I don't know what's true in India, but the average American is watching 3 to 6 hours of television a day. So that's a massive distraction. The negative news that's out there, the amount of things on Facebook and Twitter, all the things coming into your cell phone. So what I do is schedule time blocks to focus on the things I want to focus on. So from 9 in the morning till noon, I'm going to write. From noon until 1, I eat lunch. From 1 until 2, I deal with the emails, etc. So if you have a schedule, most people work from a to-do list. They often end up doing the easiest things first because it's easy. They don't really focus on the things that are most important. And so, you can turn your phone off. Like right now, my phone's on Do Not Disturb, and I can keep it there. I can have no bells ringing on my computer, etc. And then schedule your work in blocks of time. Like, I'm going to work on this for 3 hours. So it's in your schedule. And if you follow your schedule, and your schedule makes sense, like I teach this thing called the rule of 5. Do 5 things every day that will help you achieve your breakthrough goal that we talked about in the talk I just did. And so the reality is that if I focus on those 5 things and I schedule my time to focus on those, then I'm going to stay, focused, to use that word. But I think also have someone that protects you. For example, I have an assistant who makes sure that only the people that I need to see get through to me. One of my friends works at home. A lot of people are working from home because of the pandemic. Well, one of my friends who's very successful, he wears a red baseball cap when he's focusing. And his children and his wife know when he's got the baseball cap on, do not go into his room. Do not bother him. As soon as he takes it off, then he's available to be dad or to be husband. So you can find ways to, protect yourself, protect your focus.
I love that. I love that. I think I should be wearing a cap when I work from home as well, so that my children get this message.
Very good.
Thank you. Yes, and particularly, Jack, from what you spoke about, I love your views on the law of attraction. Of course, I've read you in the book The Secret as well. So that's really, I know how it is. Initially when you begin, I remember so vividly when I read The Secret, you're so excited, wanted to apply the principles, and I did. But it does take time to literally, live the law of attraction by raising
Yes.
the vibration. Spoke about raising one's vibration. So it does take time. So, but what happens is over a period of time, people, when they start applying the law of attraction, and they think that, since I'm doing it, ask, believe, and receive, I'll immediately get it manifested. And when it does not happen, they kind of get frustrated, they give up. What is the number one mistake, according to you, that people make in applying this law of attraction to their lives?
Well, I think you mentioned part of it is giving up too soon. There's a lot of research that shows that it takes 30 days in a row of visualization, meditation, affirmations, whatever, to reprogram the brain, to create new neural pathways in the brain. Your brain literally creates pathways of neurons that grow thicker. Because when we focus on what we want and we feel the feelings of already having it, it secretes proteins in the brain, which allows those neurons to get thicker. So it's like a bowling alley. If you've ever been to a bowling alley, if the ball goes in the gutter, it stays in the gutter. It does not come out again. And so the reality is that you want to have the same thing in your brain. So what we teach is if you miss, let's say you're focusing on this, you're doing your visualization, you're acting as if you're practicing gratitude, raising your vibration through all those things, 30 days in a row. If you miss day 15 for whatever reason, day 16 is day 1 again. And that's the problem most people do. They don't realize it's 30 uninterrupted days to get that programming to reset itself. And then sometimes the law of attraction will work immediately. Sometimes it might take 2 or 3 months before the thing you want to attract comes into your life. But the thing is consistency and persistence. And the other biggest thing I see is, and you teach this, is the limiting beliefs that people have. In other words, they're doing the right things, but there's these unconscious beliefs they're not even aware of that we have to bring to the surface and then release and replace with positive beliefs. And most people don't know that. They don't understand that work. That is so critical to success when you're using the law of attraction, because those limiting beliefs will lower your vibration without you even being aware of it.
Exactly. And what you write, a major part of my work really focuses on it, especially, Jack, when you're trying to help people, make money from the stock markets. What it is, people have a lot of beliefs, limiting beliefs about money, about the way the money has to be earned, about the way, the abundance of money. So I totally agree with what you're saying. And a major part of helping someone be successful trading the stock market is working on their limiting beliefs. So
yes.
Absolutely true. And, towards the end of it, one thing which I really want to ask you is, in my journey, my journey has been, I was into corporate law, turned into a stock trader, and then into a high performance coach. A major role into my success journey has been my coaches and mentors, of course, you being one of them. So I want to ask you, I'm really curious to ask you, Jack, who have been your mentors and coaches along the way?
Well, my first coach and mentor was W. Clement Stone. He was a self-made multimillionaire. He was worth $600 million back in the 1970s. He'd be a billionaire by today's inflationary, if we inflated all the money. And then Napoleon Hill, for sure, what Stone wrote books with, and I got to work with him a little bit. And then also there was a guy named Og Mandino, who was the editor of Success Magazine. And he worked in the same building I worked in the Stone Foundation for a couple of years. Very, very powerful. Certainly Bob Proctor has been very influential in my life. Mary Morrissey, many of the people that you hear about today. I started a group called the Transformational Leadership Council. And so many of the people that are leaders in this field belong to that group. And we get together twice a year, for 3 days, normally live. Lately, it's been by Zoom, and we share ideas with each other. And so they've become kind of an ongoing mastermind group for me.
Yes.
That's been very, very powerful. I would say those have been the main people.
Lovely. What quality do you think one should look for in a mentor?
Well, you want someone who's already achieved what you want to achieve. You want someone who is a straight talker, who is going to coach you and be generous, but at the same time, hold you accountable. In other words, you don't want someone who's going to be, I call it tough love. You know, they want to be there and hold you in a lane that's going to make sure you do the things you're going to do. And yeah, I think someone who's been, you know, if you go to Africa, you want a guide who's been through the jungle and knows where the lions are,
Yes.
and knows where the rhinoceroses are and the hippopotamuses. I want the same thing when I'm going through, whether it's the business world, the relationships, like John Gray, he's been there, he knows what he's talking about. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. So I want people who have extraordinarily successful lives in the area that I want to be mentored in.
Perfect, perfect. And just before I end, Jack, one last question. You're 77-year-old and multiple titles, sold hundreds of billions of copies into this of the books that you've written. What keeps you going at this age? You still conduct online courses, programs. I want to know the secret. What keeps you going?
Well, I love what I do. I mean, it's like asking someone who golfs every day, why do you go out golfing? You know, you don't have to motivate anyone to do golfing. They love to golf. I love to speak. I love to answer questions like this. I love to watch people's eyes light up when they come alive and they learn something and they've transcended their fears or whatever it might be. And I'm constantly learning. I mean, I'm reading at least a book every day or two, something new, some new little nuance of something. So I get better at what I do. And it's my passion. It's my purpose. It's what I was born to do, like a musician. You know, why does Ravi Shankar keep playing the sitar? You know, because he loves to do it, you know, and it's the same thing with me. I don't ever plan to retire.
Great. Awesome. And then I so wish, I pray that you keep on going like this and keep making the change in the lives of millions of people that you've done so far, including mine.
Thank you. My
Thank
pleasure.
you so much, Jack. Thank you so much for your time and effort in being here. Thank you.
You're welcome.